Okay, let's go. We have a bit of a fine mist this morning. I guess if my glasses get covered over, I'll be putting those away. Let's make sure our little one, yeah, Bravo, got the food. Oh, good. And lift the container out where I can get to it. Maybe the little one understood that. Keep pulling. It's funny, there's 2 containers pushed out this morning. And I fussed about I'm not climbing under there to get my containers. Or at least I'll have to just wait after a month or something and just use a stick to pull them out. But yeah, that makes me... It's entertaining and it makes me very happy that the baby is getting the food that I put out there. Oh, you found a damn bone anyway. No, now come on. There is never food for Bravo outside. Never, never, never. Good. Come on. But I'm quite excited because one of the things I've been working on is color work and yoke sweaters. And one of my challenges with the color work is the way I hold both strands of yarn in one hand works well. Good morning.
Good morning again. How are you this morning, buddy?
He's always good as long as he's on a walk.
Oh, hey, you Wales. Got 4 legs. I guess I'm on a walk too.
That's right.
You got one face,
You too. And so what happens is with this sticky wool yarn, okay, sticky in that, you know, it's made for doing color work because the fibers grab one another in the separate strands. Hold on. Over here. And however, that means whenever it's coming through my fingers, say if I have 3 stitches of red and 1 stitch followed by 1 stitch of white, that the white will get looser because it's being pulled along as the red stitches are being made. Where if it's balanced, say 2 stitches of each, then they balance out very quickly and not an issue. So anyway, I had set the challenge for myself to learn to flick. And no, there's never food for you out here. And flicking, because I knit continental or German style, come on now, by holding my hand, my yarn, my working yarn in the left hand, or when I'm doing double knitting, okay, double knitting doesn't have the problem, even though I have 2 color strands in one hand, but it's always balanced. 1 stitch of one color followed right. No, that's never food for Bravo. Never. And so anyway, so same thing. The yarn's always, the tension on the separate yarn strands always balances out. So anyway, I have not carried yarn in my right hand for at least 30 years. As soon as I forced myself to learn continental style, German style, many moons ago. So anyway, Oh yeah, braking in a curve on a wet road. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, driving tip. Where I live is very mountainous, very curvy, windy roads. We call many of the curves here kiss your ass, because by the time the front of your car gets around the curve, out of the curve, you could kiss your ass. Meaning your ass is at the other end of the curve. So anyway, it amazes me how many people on these roads don't know how to drive with curves. So you need to be at your safe speed for doing the curve before you get to the curve. You should not ever need to brake in the curve. All right? You accelerate out of a curve. So yeah. There is never food outside for you. Never. I don't know what the deal is today, buddy, but I've seen you eat. Yeah, you're doing fine. No. I took that off. It was easier than trying to untwist it. Stay still. Off your body. Okay. Now you need a potty. Okay. So anyway, back to it. I have not carried my working yarn in my right hand since, I don't know, late 20s, early 30s, whenever I forced myself to learn continental method instead of English method. Well, there is what is now a common method for holding your working yarn in your right hand called flicking. And flicking gives a similar stitching speed, good location, bravo, as continental. Okay, so you're not stopping and then throwing the yarn, which is how I learned, and I think the slowest method. I understand many people don't care if you're after speed. I am. I like to make as many things as I can. Come on. Come on, let's go. So anyway, after 30 years of hiatus of using my right hand to control tension or needles or anything, it has been just like I am learning to knit all over again. Well, because I'd finished the yoke, nope, let's go. Because I'd already finished the color work in the yoke, and I did try a couple of times to use the flicking. Okay. While I was doing the yoke and putting one color in my right hand, yeah, that was too much to be going on. I just need to get the hang of flicking before I add carrying another yarn and color work tension and everything else. So anyway, so I thought the body of the sweater, which is 200, I think around on the body is 210 stitches, solid color. That would be a perfect opportunity to get the hang of flicking. And so a couple of times yesterday, my hand got tired. I got a little frustrated. And I was like, I still want to make the ding dong sweater, so I'd go back to my old method. Nope. Last night I was watching a Christmas Story. Not one of my favorite Christmas movies, but it's a Christmas movie. So and because I'm doing something new with the flicking, I wasn't actually watching. I was listening. I decided that for the course of the movie, I was going to flick. And then I got a little concerned because my right hand was getting a little bit sore. Hold on. Okay, come on. Because that was a lot of new hand movements that I was doing. I mean, my right hand works whenever I just do my continental method, but these were new movements, so that meant new muscles. And what you doing? Yeah, I'm not seeing anything, buddy. Let's go. By the end of the movie, I looked. Okay, while I was working on the yoke, the few times I tried flicking while I was working on the yoke, the tension was so tight in the flicking part that I had to rip it out. And we're not talking a lot, just, maybe a round or two. But anyway, so over the course of the movie, even though it's much slower, the flicking is much slower for me at this point, as it should be. It's something new. The tension was great. I can't believe I figured out one way of wrapping my yarn around my right hand, and it is so familiar. Wrapping it in my fingers for my tensioning. I think it is the way that I wrapped my yarn whenever I was a thrower, because it is different than how I wrap my yarn on my left hand for continental knitting. So, oh, good location. So, I am positively thrilled. I am so thrilled. This morning, I saw that I had almost 2 inches of stockinette by flicking. Sounds like an Agatha Christie title. Bravo, let's go. Bravo, let's go. Stockinette by flicking. And anyway, the tension's great, even stitches, and I'm kind of thrilled. And a little surprise. Nope. Wonderful surprise, but surprise nonetheless. Nope. Oh, you missed your bridge. So yeah. And so I have a lot of like 10 inches or so, I think. Maybe less, maybe more. I don't remember. But I guess I have about 10 inches of stockinette flicking left to go. And then I'm going to do color work down around the bottom hem of the body. So by then, I'm hoping, and I'm making a point of keeping the index finger of my left hand raised as I would for a second, as I would for a second color. Bravo, no pull. Just so hopefully I'm ready for the second color when it comes to it. We'll see. But yeah, I'm excited. And it was that same feeling that whenever I was teaching knitting to other people, bravo, no pull. Their frustration, bravo, no pull. Whenever I was teaching them knitting, and I was reaching that same level of frustration where it's like, I know how to do this, I can just get it done. As I'm sure they felt with, I can buy a sweater. But anyway, or I'm never going to get this. The same thinking of, what's the point? I'm no good at this. And Just like whenever I switched, which wasn't an overnight thing, whenever I switched to Continental, I remember. That was weeks. I don't remember how many projects that took. Because I'd get frustrated. So anyway, I think part of this being an earlier success in learning a new method of something, particularly something as crucial as how you hold your yarn and your tension and all of that, is more than the determination to do so, but also the patience with myself of, this is going to take time. This should take time. This is different. This is new. This is new muscle memory. Okay, come on. Come on. Oops. Okay, come along. But yeah, I guess one of the main things might be the patience with myself, that this is a problem that I want to solve. The problem being holding both strands in my left hand is not having the results I want with the yarn that I want to use in color work. And then just deciding to solve the problem. Looking at the most likely solution, which is the first one that I tried, which was winding one color differently on my left hand, which is already totally accustomed to controlling the yarn and tension. And that didn't work for me. And I did try that for a few days, and I could see pretty early on, even though I was trying it sporadically, it probably wasn't going to solve my problem. So yeah, this is going to work, and I'm so thrilled, and I was even more thrilled this morning. Hold on. Because I thoroughly anticipated. Okay, sniff away. Bravo, sniff away. My right hand being very sore. And because I did do it a lot more than I would recommend anybody do. When, because we're talking at least a couple of hours with doing new hand movement. Probably not a smart move on my part particularly, but I was afraid of losing the muscle memory because I was getting a little bit of speed also. And I didn't want to lose that muscle memory. I wanted to make sure that I'd at least built some of it in before I put it down. And even if it hurt, I was going to do it some today, off and on. And I had the slightest bit of swelling. Only in my right hand. But it was nothing compared to some of the swelling that I've had, say, after a binge with cheese. Come on. Which I have discovered inflammation caused by cheese. Eating cheese, not knitting with cheese. Yeah, it looks like our water's finally clear in the drain. It was milky. All right, buddy, we made it. You got a smile? Huh? You have a smile today? Huh? Almost? Oh, yeah!